that's okay because I was working on things to see if I could get everything to go right for today. So I shared a link for y'all in our chat. Need to make sure everything is going smoothly. So I'm going to check over here while I'm live. John, would my live be in? It's in the home button, right? Never mind. Okay, so I'm going to check. Will you look and make sure everything looks decent? Is it laggy? My hand is under it. I know, it's just lagging by 30 seconds. Okay, guys. Hopefully we fixed the stream quality. There should be 3 viewers. 2. I sent it in Wire Wrappers and Weaver's Intuition, and now we're doing feedback. Is there any way you can go in there and see if the feedback is still happening? Because there's like mic feedback. I should have had them work on the mic too. Okay, you guys. So yesterday I done the material list and everything, but I'll go back over everything just in case you didn't get to watch. So I've got 4 base wires, and these are 9 inches in length. And then I have half round wrapped around right here. And you want that half round needs to go across the entirety of the bottom of the stone, almost. So we need it to go from this point to this point, or the design just won't look right. Anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and finish wrapping this. So my friend Shell shared a link, and there were like 10 people wanting the link, and then now we've only got 2 people watching. So I'm going to go over to the Facebook Messenger and see and make sure everybody got it. Because it's really important that they get the right, the right one. You can use my link and you can log straight in versus Facebook where you can log in from there too, but you can, the link that I shared takes you straight to YouTube, which is where we can record now and publish, because Facebook has a thing where all of our old classes got deleted, or they will be in February 2023, they're going to delete all of our old classes. So I'm going to work on making those again so that we know that they're here. They'll be here, saved here on YouTube. So that's a thing. I didn't think that it was, but it is evidently. Because the email that they sent out, there were several people that got it. John, how do I switch over here? Just hit log out, or? Never mind, I see it. This link up here, Terry, is the right one. It'll take you straight there. and I'll see if I can help you out here. Here you go, honey. There you go. Okay, there's a direct link. And so yeah, all right. So when you click on that, it will take you directly there. Um, Let me go to our group. Regardless, it'll be a recording. Let me make sure that the link that's in our group is working correctly too. Yeah, it is. You can log in and talk in the chat even, you know, but that's totally up to you. All right. Let's get started. So we're going to finish this off with the frame. I need to make sure that it reaches all the way across. Well, as far as I need it. I need it to reach from this little druzy here all the way to that little clear spot. And one more rotation should do that quite nicely. Okay. And the anchor points, I need them to be on the same wire. This way, that way they're both on the back and you can't see the anchor points unless you flip it over. Not that that's a problem, but it's just part of this necklace design. So I'll check chat periodically as well. I broke my nail the other day on my vehicle door, and it's really hard to get these wires up in here with no fingernail. So I have to learn how to do it with no fingernail. Because I used my pointer nail to push it up in there, you know. So I'm going to trim this off and tuck it in between the two base wires. All right. And then now I'm just going to push that base wire right back up. And it's going to have like a little arch right there. And that's okay. So I'm going to put the arch on this side too. Just so long as all the wires are up against each other. You don't really have to do that, but I like everything to look nice and tidy, you know, or at least try to make it look nice and tidy is what I'd like to do. But that's just me. Okay, so now I need to center this. Sometimes this can be the hard part. But I've learned over time how to get it to bend without uh, bowing up down here at the bottom, because it'll bow up down here and it can often slip out of your hands. But if you just put your wires like this and then put your cab in and just hold it, like pinch it almost, push down while you're holding, you can get it to go straight up there like that. I'm pushing against my stone and bending at the same time right there. Now I'm going to flip it over and do this side. So you guys ready for Thanksgiving? I am, I think. Okay, and now my wires are in place, and somehow whenever that happens, whenever I do it like that, it just does this part perfectly, and it's almost secure. So I'm going to, well, not perfectly, nothing's perfect, but anyways, I'm going to go straighten this front wire up just a hair and then bend it in so that it'll match up with this one. And now it's matched up fairly nice. Now if you get a bow right here, which is where you can see through the bottom, that happens, and usually I'll just take and rock it on my marble here. And that sometimes that helps, unless it's really hard wire, and then it just won't work, and that's okay. All right, so I'm going to sit this down and I'll be right back. We need to do the veil next. Oh, hey Sarah, hey Nuggets. Yeah, there was a huge update that helped a lot, and I had to call the manufacturer of my camera and have them do some work on it, because it was only my device was the only one that was doing that. So hopefully it fixed it. John, do you know how you got into that setting yesterday for on YouTube? Huh? The one where it was the quality or whatever. Where is it? Could you help me real quick? I'm going to take yours off. Everything looks good over here, though. So, and then you can fix that. Adjust that setting back up to normal. I do. What? I can adjust it before I post while YouTube is processing it. So when we're done, if you guys like to go back and stuff, you can go back, but usually YouTube will process the class / tutorial. And while they're processing, it'll say processing on my side, and it has like a loading circle thing. And while it has that loading circle, I can't do anything but like edit the title and things like that and put tags in until YouTube's done processing. So just so everyone knows. Alright, so I'm going to click this over here so that we can see, make sure that the quality's good while we're on, because there's no sense in wasting the material and time on a tutorial / class that's going to be blurry, right? Thank God we fixed it though. Okay, so I'm just going to, you can use the front or the back, and right now this doesn't have really a front or back. So I'm going to pick this side where well, no, I have to pick the side where the anchors are on the back. So we'll leave that one alone, and then I'm going to make the bail on the front here. So the front's going to be the part with no anchors here, okay? Just so everybody knows. And then, so I'm going to take these two wires and put them together. I better do the back ones. Okay, so I'm going to put the two wires together, and then I'm just going to go up with my pliers and make sure that these bends right here are nice and even. You can do whatever kind of bail that you prefer. So my bail is going to start right about there, and I'm going to mark it. That way I know right about where to put it, because we have wires that are going to be going through there, and I need to make sure that I have enough room for those wires to go through the top part of the stone there. So I'm going to put it back in and make sure I got it right. So now you can see a little entrance point right here, and so that's where our bail wires will go through at. Scooch this over so that the camera don't have too much to focus on. John, I need my half round. Is this open? Okay, so you're going to need about 2 feet of half round. If it's like 21 gauge, then you'll need like a foot and a half. It's according to how long you want to make your bail. I'm going to pull off a couple extra inches, because I'd rather have too much wire than not enough. So this is just a simple bail. That leaves more time for the decorative assets of this design. So I'm going to anchor off a couple times over here and trim with just enough room to make sure that the half round goes up in between the wires, the base wires. If anyone has any questions, you can type them into the chat there too, if you'd like to. I was checking chat real quick. And I'm going to push this down. So I'm not closing my pliers, I'm just scooching it down the wire here. And this will go right up under the black mark that I added, which got rubbed off a little, but it's right there. So you're going to want to put your anchors right below where you want to put your bail at to start at. Right below where you want your bail to start. It's so much quicker with fingernails. I'm going to pull this wire back just a little. That way I have room to run my half round around these wires, the two base wires for the bail. You can do this straight off the roll, or you can, I think I have an older video that shows you how to do that. That way you know which side is up and which side is down for the smaller gauges. I'll tell you a secret with the smaller gauges of wire, or well, any gauge, the half round part is always facing out, and then the part that is supposed to go against your base wires is facing in on your roll of wire. So when it comes off your roll of wire, you can pay attention to which side is half and which side is not, and just do your weave directly from the roll of wire. That way you don't waste any, But no matter if you do that or not, you still, and I still end up wasting a little bit of wire anyways, no matter which way I do it. Some designs you can't do that off of the roll. It needs to be loose where you can get through base wires and all kinds of stuff. So I had a late doctor's appointment yesterday, and then when I got home, I was like 4 minutes late to our live stream, and whenever I got on camera, the stream started being real fuzzy. So I had to call my provider and fix it, but we fixed it, I believe. So I'm going to have to keep doing this with my pliers because my nails broke. And I'll usually push it down from the back like that, but I can't. So when your weave gets so long, you can start weaving it like that. You just push your finger up between your base wires and the half round. And then you do your tension with these. And tension is how much pressure that you put on a wire while you're weaving. And it's also pressure that you put on your base wires. So I'm going to have to keep straightening this just to make sure it doesn't flip on me. If your half round flips on you, all you have to do is reach up onto your wire as close as you can get to your base wires and flip it back over. You know, if you're in a spot that you can, but if not, I usually will start over personally. I hope you can't hear that on here, baby. John, that's loud. Yeah. It's beautiful, but it's loud. Can you hear those trombones in here and stuff? What is that one song that I like called, John? That symphony? Huh? Grand Siberian Orchestra. That Christmas song that they do is like my favorite. I have to listen to that like every year. Is that the band or the? Yeah, but what's the name of the song? Nutcracker. Grand Siberian Orchestra does the Nutcracker, and it's really good. Really good song to listen to during the holidays. It's beautiful. So I will be arranging a waffle. That'll be either the end of this week or next week, but I'll share the link and let you guys check it out. Also, I'd like to announce that my official website is going to be released soon. It's going to be online and for everyone to be able to access. So I'm really super excited about that. So yeah, really proud. So I'm just separated these two wires, and now I'm anchoring them back off. You can anchor them off on the exact same side, or whatever you'd like to do, but I want to anchor them off on the opposite sides because this wire is longer than the other one somehow. So I'm gonna run it through, unravel it, and then you'll be able to see right where your wire bent through these two base wires, and that's right where you want to cut. That way your base wire ends up in between and tucked away to where it can't be accessed. I also have this necklace. I wanted to show y'all. I'm wearing it right now, but this was the necklace that I made live in Beginners and Beyond, and it's the exact same style as the one we're making today. And I think my friend Lynn, she won the other one, and then this one I got to keep, and I love it. But anyways, it's the silver version. This is the silver version of the one we're making today. So I can put this right here. That way you guys can see it too, because the recorded version, some people like to see it before, they make it, even though there's a thumbnail with the picture of what we're making on it. But I don't know if some people are just scrolling and then it doesn't show it for some reason. All right, so now it's time to connect everything. So I'm gonna put this in, and normally a bail will be formed on the front, on the front wire, but this design it's formed on the back wire, and it's turned on me, so I'm going to adjust it just a little. Okay, so now everything looks nice and tidy. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. And you can go ahead and bring your bail around and through if you want. Or you can do the sides first and then put everything together, which is what I sometimes like to do. Now these will both be coming out the same side. So we need the two middle wires have to have their design on them. One of them is done with half round wire, which is this side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll connect everything. But first we need to make sure that all the embellishments are on there correctly. You'll have extra wire, but you can use your imagination if you want, or you can trim it, and I'll show you how to do that. It also has a little bead right here, the silver version does, so you could use a bead there, or the copper version, I don't believe it has a bead. Let me check. Yeah, no, it don't have a bead. Okay, so we're going to need a pretty good amount of half round for this design. I'm going to use the rest that I had for my bail, but first I want to make sure it's nice and straight. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to use my tweezer nose pliers and my wire straighteners. This way I can make sure it is all the way straight, all the way down. And then I'm going to trim this little end off here. Oops. Jeez. You can do half round on both sides if you like, but when I'm going to do the half round on this side. Instead of this side. So I'm going to anchor off. You have to think of which side that you want the singles to be on. And I want the singles to be facing away from the stone. So I'm going to put them on the third wire back on the left side. So we'll do 1, 2, and 3, 3 for the anchor. And I want to trim there, and then tuck. John, that white onion has to go in that, okay? In the ham. I know that's weird, but it's good. White onion in the ham when you bake it. I don't know why, but it's good. The boys like it a lot too. Alright, so I'm going to pull this front wire out like I did the back whenever I was making the bell, only I'm not going to pull it as far out as I did the back. Just a little. Enough to give me space here. I'm going to scooch this down too. So when you get your half round wire anchored onto your stone or onto onto your wire, you need to make sure that it's that you scoot it down there. But first, I need to make I need to wrap how many times? 5 rotations in between. Now, sometimes working with half round to do this is a pain in the booty, but it is worth it because it's really pretty in the end. So I've got 4 rotations now. I need one more. And then we'll go once around both wires. So make sure you run a straightener over your half round every now and then just to make sure that it's not going to flip over on you. If mine flips on me, I will show you how to fix it. Now before you go over both wires, you're going to need to move your weave down closer to where it needs to be. It doesn't necessarily need to be all the way down just yet, but you can move it all the way down. Shouldn't hurt anything. I just like to have room whenever I'm doing this. You have to keep it flat and then go in between the wires at the same time. But once you get a rhythm going, it should be okay. Sissy, please don't start. Please don't start. I want to till my half round has flipped over on me. Hi Carrie. I am muting my mic when my kids are being kids. This way it's a little bit kinder on your ears. So when your wire gets flipped around there, just unravel it and then flip it over with your pliers really close to the base wire and try and flip it in a place that's going to end up between your wires. See, like mine has gotten flipped over right there. So I'm going to unravel it. And right here you can see where the wires went through the base wires when you unravel it, which is right about here. I straightened it and it almost looks like it's going to do all right, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip it with my pliers here just to make sure, because I'd rather be sure than to have a wire that's showing and it's not in the right on half round, you know. Now what I'm doing here is I'm holding my wire flat with my fingers and bringing it right through those wires. And then I'm going to go again, I'm going to go around one more time before I push my wires together. This way I can prevent the wires from flipping a little bit easier. I don't know how it does help prevent that, but it does. So I'm going to do this really slowly one more time because I had issues with this when I first started, and I'd done it in front of 38,000 people, and I ended up flipping it over, and I ended up with this piece because some kind person told me to keep going, and I did, and I ended up with a piece that I'm really proud to own. Anyways, that said, I'm going to get back to work here. So I'm going to take my wire, make sure that it's held really tightly. Not tight as in tension tight, but tight between my fingers, like I'm pinching the heck out of it. And now I'm going to make sure that it goes through flat. That this way I can make sure that it's not going to flip. It helps to prevent the half round wires from flipping over. It might have been 32,000 people, I can't remember, or 28. It was one of those. I am sure of it. Come on, buddy. There it goes. Sometimes if you catch your wire flipping, you can prevent it by straightening it. So I'm going to pinch it real close, or it ends up flipping on me. So I'm going to pinch real close and then bring it through. Usually my pointer nail helps out with going around the wires, but I've got a nub today. And fake nails, I've tried those and I can't feel a thing. And for me, being able to feel my wire with my nails helps, if that makes sense. I mean, I don't even know how to explain that, but you can. If you are thinking of that one, you know, you're like, So I can feel how hard I'm pushing to push it into place, even. So it's a big help having fingernails. There's nothing wrong with fake nails. I love those. I love them. But that's just me personally. Everyone is different. Keeps trying to flip on me here. So just so everybody knows, if one of my kids is being loud, I'm going to mute the mic, and then whenever the situation is diffused, so to speak, I'll turn it right back on. So that way you guys don't think something's wrong with your phone or internet or something like that. I need to go help Sissy real quick, and I'll be right back, you guys. Charlie, please open that back up. Please.
Oh, open what? Open what back?
So I'm almost done with this side, and we're going to switch to 30 gauge round, or you could even use 32 gauge round. It will make your detail a lot finer, and you can get a lot more detail into your pieces. That's a new gauge for me too. I have it in silver, and I love it. So I'm going to separate this just a tiny bit, run this through, and then bring it back out. If you can see, there's it's flipped a little right there, which is right about where it went through the two base wires. I'm going to trim it, and then I'm going to bring it through. Okay, so now we have this side done. I'm gonna switch over to this side, and I need my 30 gauge round. You could use 26 gauge or 28, or just, whichever weaving wire you're comfortable using. But this design I use 30, 28 or 30, 32 even. So I want the single weave coil to be on the opposite side that we put the half round weave on. So I'm going to start this one right here. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I just unraveled that one, and that way I have that little mark that wire makes whenever you wrap it around a base wire. That way I can tell, or that way I can stick it in between these base wires here. I'm just gonna scooch this one down all the way to right before the wire bends. And see, I believe this one has one wrap in between on the copper design, and it does. So I'm gonna do, instead of 6, I'm gonna do 8. 10. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay, now I'm gonna go around both wires. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, if you have a larger gauge weaving wire, you'll want to do 4, 6, or 8 in between the doubles. Because your wire is bigger, you won't be able to fit as many of the single rotations in, and it equal up to the same measurements, if that makes sense, or the same width in between of the rotations right here. It doesn't really matter, but I mean, that's just the design. Nine, 10. Pushing your single coil weaves in together as you go. I'd push them together like every 3 times, because if you don't, then you get too much length in between each rotation. You see, if you look, there's a space. There's a space right there in between, unless you're laying them directly on top of each other. And if you get too far up the line, somehow when you push them back down together, you end up with lumps along your single coil weaves. The ones that are in between the doubles, the double wrap there. And it can make your wrap look lumpy in those areas. But if you push them together, you don't get some. So sorry, you guys. My neighbor scared my doggies. Okay, so Carrie, the two wires that we're wrapping now are the two wires that are on the left side of your bail. They're in between the bail and they're the two wires that are in between the four wires, right? Middle two, and these two wires are on the left side of your bail. So I've lost count when my puppies started barking. 1, 3, 6, 7, 8. That's 9 and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. How in the world is that happening? Sissy, what are you doing, honey?
I'm looking at the rainbow. Look, that rainbow up there. That's the rainbow up there. Look where that rainbow is.
I gotta mute my mic for just a second. You're very welcome, Terry. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I could use this, but I really can't because I don't know how much wire it's going to take. Pretty sure it's about 1.5 feet, so I'm going to unravel about that much of my half round. Okay, so we need to use our half round on the, let's see here, the right front wire. And I'm just gonna coil this half round around this wire all the way up to where it matches the length of this one. So I just need to scoot it down. It doesn't have to be scooched down all the way, but just far enough. So I want it right in that bend there. Oops, went a little too far. Oh, come on. There. I'm gonna straighten it one more time because it's trying to flip. So I'm going to mute my mic until I'm done with this wire, and then I'll unmute it. Okay, now I'm going to anchor this one off to where the tail end of the wire is almost against the stone. So it's going to be like right up on it. This one is like a half of a centimeter too long. You might not think that matters, but it does because it will be poking out. And if you cut it too short, it'll be touching your stone and it could scratch your stone. So try and make sure that you get it just the right length there to go across the back of the wire. Now if you cut it too short, then you can always just unravel it a little and then try again. And scoot your wire down or back down a little and then add another rotation on. So if you cut it too short, you could do that. Okay, so now I'm going to push this together just so I can make sure that my base wire is covered. And now I can put the stone in. Remember, the back of the stone goes where we had the two anchors back here. And I need to rotate this middle here and then push these back together the best that I can. Now remember, you're going to need both of these to be coming out the right side. Okay, so I'm just going to angle them to the right a little and put my stone in. And I want to make sure that there's nice curves here. And these two need to come out the left side. I guess I could just I'll do them like this. So one's on that side, one's on this side. I don't want this beautiful swoop here to go away. So I'm just going to try and adjust everything to where that that stays right like that. Now I need a little gap at the top. Again, I'm angling these two wires to the right side. If you're looking at the front, it's on the right side there. Okay. Now I'm going to put my thumbnail there, or you could use your pliers or whatever. And I'm going to bring this back, my bail. I want my bail to come backwards. And it's on the back instead of the front too. But it's really pretty. So I'm going to make sure that these wires are straight and level before I begin to bend, because if I bend and they're not level, then that can make my bail be off-centered, and I make that mistake often personally. I don't know about you guys, but I do sometimes. So I have to make sure that all my wires are tucked in, so I double check for that. And I'm going to bring my bail making pliers in, or you can use a dop stick, just like a piece of wooden stick, or an ink pen, just like anything that's round. And make sure my mic's on. Okay, it's on. All right, so I'm going to start with the medium. Well, no, I'm going to start with this large one, and I'm starting up here. And I'm just going to bring it forward, okay? And then I'll scooch down a little in that bend. And then I'll move my pliers around until I get just the right angle that I need. Okay, now I need to make sure that I hold all my wires together. The best that I can. I'm going to take my tweezer nose pliers and just swoop this out. And swoop, swoop, swoop this side out too. Swoop, swoop. Okay. Now, this part can often be difficult no matter what design you're using, but it's fairly easy once you get the hang of it. So grab all your wires together. So I'm holding them all together right here in my fingers. And then just bring your swoop wires to the back. Okay? Bring them to the back. So I brought my swoop wires to the back. Okay, and now I'm going to take my tweezer nose pliers and bring my swoop wire through this back, the bail, the base wire that we made the bail on. I'm just going to wrap it around that. And you may need to trim according to tightness, because this is what tightens your frame onto your stone. So I tightened it only on one side so far, and now I'm trimming flush, and I'm going to bring this all the way back around and in to that back base wire there. Now you can keep turning if you need more tightness. Just adjust it until you're satisfied with the tightness of your stone or security of your stone, because this is what's going to determine if your stone is secure or not. It's a fairly tight design. So now your stone may look like it's sitting crooked until you get both ends in, but that's normal, so don't freak out. But it's normal. So I'm just going until you get this, both wires, both your swoop wires through. So I'm just going to continue. This wire is actually shorter than the other one. So I'm just going to take these round nose pliers and the space wires, my swoop wires, trying to go into the wrong area. It's trying to go through all of these wires. So I'm going to adjust it a little so that tip will come out the bottom here. And it's just where it's not bent in the right direction there. There it went, see? Now, you don't have to have it going around your bail base wire twice, but it helps. But if it's not going around it twice, then just tighten it up, and move on. It's coming out here. I don't need you to come out there. I need to bring this back here so that I can see this wire before it ends up breaking off. I'm going to curve it bring these forward. I'm going to hold those, pin this down, bring it through. Bringing it through my swoop wire here. So now I got a secure swoop wire. Okay, I need to go to the ladies' room real quick and I'll be right back. Turn my mic off. Don't. Mike was muted that whole time. Oh my God. Okay, so I used my nylon jaws to grab these wires and flip them because they were like this because they're coming out, right? And then so I grabbed them and then flipped them. So grab and flip, grab and flip. So you're gonna flip both of them. Now the wires that we brought around this way are actually the wires from the left side. Okay, but they're both coming out this side. So, and then the wires that are gonna go on this side are here. So they're from the left side or right side. I mean. So, anyways, I'm gonna use my nylon jaws and go over what I just done with these two wires with you guys. So I'm gonna use my nylon jaws to begin the bend, and then I'm going, while holding it flat, I'm just bringing these around. Okay. Now, if you need to bring your weave on around, just bring it around. You know, you can't do this too many times though because it can harden your wire. I'm going to use my nylon jaws to put a bit more of a bend in this. And the reason I'm using my nylon jaws is so that I don't dent my wire. This is a really good trick to have as a beginner, is using your nylon jaw pliers to bend your weaves. And it also keeps them intact to where they don't move around a lot. And because these wires right here will bend out of whack, and then they'll move down a lot when you're working. But anyways, so I'm gonna bring these on around with these, okay, and then I'm gonna use my nylon jaws one more time. I'm gonna pull this up, and then I'm gonna bend with my nylon jaws. So I'm bending it out now, okay. Now, this one, I'm gonna swoop these down to hug the stone. Now, you're gonna have to attach these like individually, probably. Now, your half round wire, if it's bent, like, and it's not a complete curve, you can often see that, because right here you can see it almost looks like I've tried to bend it with my pliers. So I'm gonna try to straighten this out and then use my nylon jaws to gradually put a curve in my wire. It will put an even curve in your wire too. So that's also a good trick to have if you're a newbie. I'm going to lift this one up away from the stone just temporarily, and this one too. And now I'm going to use my nylon jaws to put a curve in that. Oh Lord. Goodness. Hang on, it's supposed to be. It's okay, I got it. Sorry about that, you guys. Alright. So, continuing to put. So I'm just bending a tiny bit at a time. Like right here, this section. Then I'll go down a little bit more, a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and so on. And then I go back over it. So the rubber in these helps your doubles not move much. Okay, so you're going to need a separate length of 30 gauge. So I'm just going to cut off about a foot. You don't need much. So you can connect it directly to this frame. Or you can connect it to this front base wire here. John, Jersey's digging something. And just check. Anyways, I just want a little bit of a space right here. But I want the top to be closed. Okay. I'm going to use my awl to begin my weave here, or wrap. So I'm going to wrap right in through here. So that's 1. 2. 3. Okay. So I'm just going to bring this down close and then wrap around this one 2 times. Okay. Oh, my son. Well, not he's. So I'm going to use a fingernail just to make a little space right here in between my half round. And I'm going to bring my weaving wire around this wire as well. I need to make sure that they fit together right before I go any further. So this one needs to come back some and then forward. So back and then forward. So I'm going to need this space to be a little farther forward. There. All right. So just going to hold it in place, and I'm pushing these wires up against the stone. I'm going to go around it twice and then come back down and go around this wire just like once or twice. And I need to make sure that they all scooch up close together, and then I can John, will you get Jersey? Oh goodness, I got a kink in my wire right here. If you can see that, I'm gonna cut it. So I'm gonna run this back through one more time, and then I'm gonna cut this weaving wire, and then I'll go do the other side, and then we'll be done. Almost. And there's a few more adjustments that I have to make, but other than that, it's just about done. So we need to tie the other side off too. And 3. Alright, so I'm going to use these, my other wire cutters to cut this because it's really, really close to the base frame here. And the tips of these don't work because my son cut a guitar string with them. he didn't know. Alright, so now I have this side secured So I'm going to go over here and secure this one. Now, you can twist this wire if you want. It's totally up to you. Or you can make this little design, which comes up onto the other side, and I'll show you how to do that. But I want to twist mine a little. Alright, so I've got this wire is nice and twisted. I'm just going to run it out. And you can bring it back over and then through. That's what I want to do with this one. Bring it through. Now I just want it to run right across the top of these wires here. So I'm going to adjust it according to the direction that these wires are going in. Now you can bring this wire around the back of your bale. Bring it through. And you can trim it there, or you can bring it, if you have enough room, bring it over and then curl it right there. Totally up to you. I'm going to trim mine right about there, and I want it to be flush. Now, if your flush cutters don't cut flush, you can also file the end of your wire there, and it'll make it flat. But I'd rather have micro flush cutters than do that. I don't know. That's just me. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing to this side. So I need a length of copper wire. You don't need that much. I'm using a 30 gauge round. Now I'm going to run it through first. You can use an awl tool if you have one. Just stick it up under that base wire there and bring your weaving wire through. And let's see. So bring both wires up like that, and then I'm going to try to hold it with my awl. So I'm holding my weaving wire and my awl in one hand here, and then the other hand I'm going to use to bring the weaving wire through. And again. So that's 3 wraps. I'm going to bring it forward one more time, and I'll show you how to anchor this off. So I'm going to use my pliers to get up and under this wire here, these, and just squeeze them together. gonna hold the wire that I'm gonna be doing the stitching with these fingers, and now I'm going to trim with just a little bit of length left on it. Not much though. Let's see. I'm gonna bend with my tweezer noses. And lift with my awl. And bring that tail end of the wire under. Nice and snug there. You can also use your awl to bring that tail end on through. If it continues through on the other side, just bend it up under your base wire there and continue on. Because it's going to be up under here too, so I'd say it'll be pretty safe. Honey, just a minute. Oh, Sissy wants to say hey, Shell.
Hi, Sal.
She says hi.
It's dark.
So I'm going to wrap around this very bottom wire twice. I'm going to go back under here. All right. So I'm going to, Shell says, hey, Sissy, sweetie pie. I want to go under the wire, because if you come up and over like this, then you're going to see that stitch wire right there. You're going to see it in the center of your stone, the centerpiece, the focal point of the design. You'll see the wire across there. So come up under here, and you'll see the wire on around the base wire a little bit. But these are going to be curled, so you won't see that. I'm going to wrap 1, 2, 3. Push these up close to one another, and then bring this weaving wire right back through. Under these two. Back through. Under those two, and then I'm going to anchor off right on this wire. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring this one. Oh, that should be fine. All right. So I'm going to bring this one out, and then I'm going to unravel. And right there. And tuck.
No, this one.
Alright, I'm going to use my micro flush cutters to bring this up. cut it. Now this wire does need to be longer than this one, but it needs to be trimmed too. Oops. Ooh, bless you. So I'm using the tip of my nylon jaws to bend this up. And I'm gonna start the curl with my round nose pliers. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. I'm just gonna bring this one on around. Gonna use the tip of my nylon jaws again. Now, I learned this trick when I first started wire wrapping. It allows you to curl your wires, to curve your wires without putting tool marks on them. Okay, so I'm going to trim these up. Guys, I need just a minute because I need just a minute. I want to tell you how to bend this. So you're gonna hold this, and then just push with your hands right to here. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed making this tutorial or enjoyed this class. I will see you in the next one. Thank you and have a good evening, everyone. I'll show this one too. So I have the silver one, but don't have the copper one. This design is really fun one to make, and it's versatile. So I hope you guys enjoyed learning this. Have a really good evening.